Good morning, everyone. It should be propagating across the channels. How are we all doing this morning? How are you doing, Chris?
Doing fine, you?
I'm doing great.
Day number, I've lost count days of quarantine. So.
Yeah, really. And yes, we are live over there on YouTube.
I know I've eaten a lot of junk food and drank a lot of soda.
Yeah, I'm having to really make it a conscious effort to stay away from some of that stuff.
Man, when I'm at work, I'm busy and it's easy to do. Hell, I skip lunch half the time. But yeah. I'm sitting around the house, all I keep thinking about is what's in the fridge.
That's funny. I like to open up, I do a watch, or what do they call it? A watch channel over on Facebook.
Yeah.
But
YouTube
it doesn't pull the chat. And I'm worried that, I might have some people that are out there in the chat and I'm not going to see them. So
YouTube is live.
Yes, we are live. We are live. So anyway, I open up a second window so that I can actually see the original post over on Facebook to make sure that we're not missing anything. So if y'all are out there in YouTube land, we are here. We're alive.
We got Jim Dockrell, Jimbo says 5 are watching.
Cool.
Well, 2 would be me. I got this on here and on the big screen. 6 now. All right. And climbing.
Let me make sure the bot's working.
And the Facebook chat is up. All right.
Yes, Buster and Noreen Stott. And I just put hello. So the bot's working this morning. That is great.
Sweet.
Yep, we are working. So if any of you other lazy butts get up, Paul's gonna join us.
Really?
I finally shamed him into it.
I mean, so he's retired. What else does he have to do all day?
I finally shamed you into it, huh?
No, I didn't want Chris to be the only suck up around.
Hey, how do you think I keep my A status? Okay.
Okie dokie. But yeah, I've got some stuff I got prepared for us that takes me a little. I do it in the mornings when I'm sitting there at my desk, drinking coffee and reading my emails and doing all that kind of stuff. I start searching for new stuff that we can use that I think is fairly well interesting. I had some pictures that I had uploaded, and I don't know why Dropbox is not working on this computer. It may be that, and I think that's what it is. I think I have it. It's only for like so many computers, and I think I've maxed out. So I've got to go on. It might be on my iPad or something like that, and I can go delete it off of that so that it will work. But I'll show them tomorrow. It was about my LED lights, and I've got them. Well, here, I'll just do it this way. There's more than
one. You guys are lucky we don't have smell-o-vision. My dog just cut one loose and left the room.
That's funny.
Wow.
That's funny. Yeah, here These are like above my cabinets.
Yeah.
These are actually fixed now, but this is actually above my cabinets. Let's see if I can go. Yeah, see how this is on the other side above the refrigerator and everything.
Mhm.
And then
Those
these
put out a lot of light, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And these are the culprits right here. These are the culprits. They're a 3-foot LED light. They're actually a shop light, but they're up in that recess, so you can't see them. So I don't think it really doesn't matter what kind of light you put up there, because I had just regular old fluorescent lights up there for years. And I finally, went and bought these, and we love them. Yes, they're so. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing my Tampa Bay Bucks hat.
I was going to wear my Dave Gatton hat, but
Paul, never mind. Anyway, James Parker says good morning, and old Buster and Noreen Stott's out there, and they say good morning, Russ and Chris. Well, Paul's here now, so anyway, my question is, and to y'all that are out there that are listening, if you would be so kind to answer this, is I got them at Home Depot. They're a 3-foot LED shop light. I got them on sale for $12 a piece back. Home Depot had them on sale. And so I put them up. They've worked great. They've been in there for several months. Matter of fact, I put them in there when I was remodeling the kitchen after I did the floor. So I'm thinking I put them in there sometime in January, because I didn't finish the floor until just before Christmas. And make a long story short, we had lightning the other day hit, but it never hit the house. But it did make the lights flicker, and then they went off. And then after about 2 or 3 or 4 minutes, they came back on. Well, it took out of 6 of those lights, it took 4 of them out.
probably got a little bit of a power surge.
Yeah, but why did it only affect those and not anything else? Like the dishwasher, they're all in there in the kitchen together, refrigerator, which thank God it didn't hurt anything else, because that was the cheapest thing to replace, But yeah, I'm just wondering, are they a little bit more susceptible? So what I did was I had them plugged directly in. So I went and bought some of those little power strips that are actually surge protectors. And I installed them up there and then plugged them into that. So maybe
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, maybe that will help. But yeah, I don't understand why it just affected them. It took out that one that I showed you above the sink, the long one. There's 3 in there, and then on the other side, it took out 1 above on the other side where the refrigerator and everything is. But it's like, yeah, it took them out. And have you ever taken one of those things apart? It's pretty cool. Matter of fact, I need to bring the pieces in here and show you. It's a plastic tube with a long strip of LED lights.
Yeah.
The little tiny lights all the way down. Anyway, I took it apart before I went and bought new ones, just to see if there was any kind of like a fuse or something in there, and that I could actually fix. And there's not. It's a little tiny circuit board that's probably about 2 inches by 3 inches. And it's got, transformers, resistors, a diode. It's got several things, and I'm sure it converts the voltage from 110 down to whatever those LEDs work. But I didn't see anything in there, and I wasn't going to spend a lot of time. Patrick's Workshop joined us. He says, on the way out the door for work, waiting on my ride. Hi, good morning, Patrick. Good to see you.
What's work?
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Patrick's Workshop. So good morning. I hope you have a good day. Stay safe, my friend. Keep your mask on, wash your nasty hands, and keep your head low. And as Brenda would say, take your vitamin C.
Anybody heard from Brenda on how she's doing?
Yes, I have. Did we talk about this on the show, what she got into?
Yes.
Live?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Live?
Poison,
okay.
Poison sumac.
Yeah, she got into poison sumac. She's not doing good. And so, yeah, she's not doing good. It's still continuing to bother her really, really, really bad. She's not getting a lot of sleep.
She go to the doctor?
She hasn't as of yet. She's had to quit taking the Benadryl, because Benadryl over a period of time will dry your sinuses out really bad.
That's why I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, but in some ways it's not good. But she quit taking it because her sinuses were dried out too bad. It was drying her out too bad, and she said it really wasn't helping that much.
Yeah.
But she's not getting a lot of sleep. She's itching a lot. I feel so sorry for her. When somebody texts you or PMs you, and you get the feeling that they're in bad shape, that's really bad if they portray it that way. You know what I'm saying? So, because she's usually in good spirits and up and everything's great. So, Jim Dockrell says work is a 4-letter word. So, yeah. But, yeah, she's not feeling good. So, if those of you who pray, I'd say a little prayer for her because she sure could use it. She's not doing good at all. The bot, though, does seem to be working over here, which is really, really great. And but anyway, have y'all heard anything about? Get back to that. Have y'all heard anything about LED lights being susceptible or any problem?
No.
Haven't?
I have them in. You get the one bad batch.
Yeah, I have them in my shop too. I'm slowly, as these fluorescents go bad, they've been in here for years, and I have to admit they're cheap shop lights, but the ballasts are still great in all of them. I have to replace the bulbs every once in a while. But
the LEDs I got at Harbor Freight, and you can't get them hardly any cheaper than that, and I've never had a problem with any of them.
Yeah. Well, they're normally like $15 a piece. Time with tax, you might as well say 16. But I got them on sale back when I put them in January. They were on sale for $12 a piece. And so I got a good deal on them, and I got them. They're the same light that I got right now, and I've got them in my shop. Now, the difference is in my shop, when we had the storm, the lights were off. And these were on in the kitchen. So I told my wife, I said, even though I put those surge protectors in there on them, I think it would behoove us to, the next time we know that there's or hear thunder and lightning, just go in there, and because I've got other lights in there, just go in there and turn those 2 banks off just to make sure.
They on the same circuit?
Yes, they're on the same circuit. But I mean, 4 of them at $16 a piece. That's $64. I mean, I don't want to replace those every 90 days. It's like, so, but if anybody's had any experience, I was hoping on the way door, work is a 4-letter word. How does a farm girl not recognize poison sumac? Jim, she didn't get into it per se. She was out cleaning her van, and the next door neighbors were burning some yard trash. And unbeknownst to her, and the wind was blowing the smoke right towards her, and unbeknownst to her, they were burning some poison sumac. So that smoke, she's very allergic to it. That smoke got on her, the only way to explain it, and she broke out from it. She didn't actually touch it. It was just the smoke. So, that's how she got into it.
Wow.
She didn't actually touch it. It was the next door neighbor was burning trash, and the trash, like the smoke, went over. That is not uncommon if you're highly allergic to something.
In fact, getting it in smoke is even worse than touching it because it gets in your lungs and everything.
Exactly. She inhaled it. So she says she's broke out from head to toe and never even touched it. So I know that there are other things like oleanders. Oleanders are very poisonous plant. If animals will chew on them, or kids, it can make them very, very, very sick. And if you burn the plants and inhale the smoke, it can. We had a guy when I was working as a paramedic that was burning them and did not know that, and it damn near killed him from respiratory arrest from it. So
see, this is why I believe in the landscaper. Let him come in, let him clean the yard, let him weed the garden, let him get rid of all the debris.
Well, you just have to know plants. I'm a plant person, so
I kill plants.
I have a green thumb. You have to see some of my
last time I tried it, we were out weeding one of the back gardens, and a couple hours later, I felt a swelling starting up. We must have gotten some poison ivy when we were weeding the garden. And by morning, my whole side of my face was all swollen to the point I spent the night in the hospital.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
even missed a race over it too.
Really Jim Dogcrawl says, good thing it didn't get into her lungs. It did get into her lungs, Jim. She inhaled it. So she doesn't seem to have any, from my talking to her, she doesn't seem to have any respiratory problems. It's just, she's just broke out like with the hives from head to toe.
I should probably send it to the box. I just want to make sure that
she says nothing she's doing seems to work. She's tried baths of like Epsom salts or whatever, and then she's also has calamine lotion, and
gotta go see a doctor.
I think that's what she needs to do. She might need an injection to help her get through this.
Yeah,
and she's stubborn. You know, she's stubborn. She tries all the
Brenda's stubborn? No.
There's nothing wrong with home remedies. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with it, because I think we pump ourselves full of too much medicine as it is sometimes.
Sometimes you got to cry uncle and go to the doctor.
Yeah,
exactly.
But yeah, and sometimes if you'll read the damn side effects from the medicine the doctor just gave you, diarrhea, upset stomach, may cause vomiting. I mean, you start reading all this stuff and you go, like, holy crap.
You're better off not reading the side effects.
Yeah.
Oh, my all-time favorite is may cause anal leakage.
Yeah.
I don't know why I turn into a 12-year-old boy when I hear that on the ads. I start giggling. So.
Too much information. TMI. Yep. Jim Dockrell says his wife just has to see poison ivy and she gets a rash. And that's like that. I mean, I've heard of people being like that. We've got Chris Costine, Marshall Border, and Dean Hobar are joining us over there on Facebook. I noticed I'm like a tint of green this morning. The reason being is because I got a green screen behind me, and I've noticed if I wear a light, I'm gonna start wearing dark colors. If I wear light colors, the green kind of pops out more than it is when I do with dark colors. So I'll have to start learning to wear. But I would like to say one thing, and I showed my wife this morning. I gained so much weight that I had not been able to wear this shirt anymore. And I have finally lost enough weight. Now it's still a little tight. I haven't lost all the weight I need to lose, but I will say this much, that I can put the shirt on. And if this would have been back in Christmas or November or December of last year, I couldn't even put this shirt on. So I've lost that much weight, 38, I think it's 38 pounds now that I'm down.
Well, Christmas, Santa is supposed to be fat.
Yeah.
Nobody likes a skinny Santa.
James Parker says he bought 5 4-foot lights from Rural King for $10 a piece just after Christmas. Are they working, James? Jim Dockrell says my wife just has to see poison ivy and gets a rash. And Russ Meadows says Brenda needs some steroids. Yes, that's what I think. She needs some steroids to help her get over this. So, but she's in a bad way. I feel so sorry for her, because I know
my only experience with LED lights was I replaced all my big C9 house lights for Christmas, the big bulbs, with LEDs. And I'm gonna tell you, they're nowhere near as bright.
No.
I like my house being able to be seen from orbit. So.
Yeah, you're not going. Those C9s, they're what, 3 or 4 inches long? Those things are
about 3. Yeah.
Those things produce a lot. They're like 30 watts a piece.
Yeah, I know. The electric meter just spins off the dial when I plug them all in.
Yeah.
When you go to Florida, the electric company is going to go bankrupt.
Yeah.
No, I'll pay my bill. Don't worry about it.
No, I mean, after you're gone, whoever buys your house won't light it up that much.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Although we started a trend on the street. First year we moved here, the street was dark at Christmas time, except for our house. Now all the other neighbors do it too. So
yeah, I used to shame people into doing that with our house. I used to decorate quite heftily, and people started decorating theirs. But over the years, it doesn't work anymore. People just like, he's a show off. Yeah, they
Up
don't.
here-
I watch
up
all
here-
those. I watch all those shows, the Christmas light fight and stuff like that. And I
Yeah.
sit there with a notepad taking notes of stuff I could do.
Those
James
are really, some of those people really make some neat stuff, don't they?
Oh yeah, they do. I like the ones where the people actually can coordinate the lights to a computer and the program.
Yeah.
You know, they flash to the music and stuff. That is
Yeah.
just
You know, those are
awesome.
fun, but I give more credit to the people who handmade everything
Yeah,
and repurposed and reused things and didn't spend a ton of money. Those ones, I take my hat off to those people. So
The only
James,
the
reason
computer
we,
guys, yeah.
the only reason we gave up decorating is I hate taking that stuff back down.
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I don't
You're
mind
all
putting it up
Christmas
'cause you
spirit
find
and
the Christmas
ho ho
spirit.
ho. And I'm gonna put them all up, and then after Christmas is over, you walk outside and look, and you go, "Oh crap! I got to take all this stuff down and put it back in boxes and then put it away."
I bring my truck around the front of the house. We just load everything on the truck and then back it down the driveway and load it into the basement. So one year we had bad weather coming right after New Year's. So we really had one day to get everything down and put away. My wife had it, I had it down to a science. We were done in 20 minutes. So
Wow.
we were just hauling stuff back fast. And literally that night the storm came in and we were buried. So we're glad we got it done.
Yeah.
But I like making my decorations. I mean, the lights you can't make, you gotta buy the lights. But my Who collection, my Christmas train, I get into all that stuff. I do have some of the original old, what do they call them? Blow molds, the plastic characters with the lights inside of them.
Yep.
So I got a few that are from the 50s.
Now
My
you're like your
elderly neighbor who gave them to
and
us.
your Santa, do they have the lights going through the thing or is it light shining on it?
Lights shining on them. And when I paint them, I put a little bit of little glitter in the paint. So it picks up the light. I put a floodlight all on the edge of the front lawn. So, but when we move, I might try a different design depending on what we get for property. So I might leave some behind with my neighbor who decorates now too. So
We used to, there was a guy that lived a couple miles away from us, and every year he would make a new decoration to put on his house. And
Yep.
like he would make a wreath and all the lights in the wreath were green except the red ones on the bow. And one year he made a star and it was all red except for a big white floodlight, you know, in the,
Yep.
in the upper corner of it. And every year he would make something new like that with lights. And that's a lot of work.
it is. But I get into it. I right now, already look at my notebook. I've got 4 or 5 drawings already planned out that if we're still here, which I hope we're not, I'll do for this Christmas. But I sometimes sit at the bar and just start drawing till an idea hits me.
Now, what do you do with all that stuff in the summertime?
It's all stacked up in one room in the basement.
Really?
Takes up a lot of space.
I can imagine.
I'm glad we have a full basement.
Can you imagine those people like that are on those shows, you know, that have their whole yard that way? Where do you put all that stuff?
Yeah,
A lot of them get storage units and
yeah. They
or
actually
get,
pay.
yeah.
That's the thing. They actually pay like $30-$40 a month for a storage unit to store that stuff.
Or they get if the property's big enough, they get a couple container boxes and put them on the
I
property and store
have
them on that.
my whole, or not whole, but let's put it this way: 80% of my loft space here in this shop is
Yeah.
Christmas and Halloween decorations. There's
Yeah,
very
I
few.
got a buddy that's like that. His loft over his garage is all his Christmas
Yeah.
decorations.
Yeah, I
He
mean, I've
doesn't
got
see a blow up that he doesn't buy.
I've got a few things up there that belonged in the boat. My boat has got a center console, and there used to be a bathroom, and there was a, what do you want to call it, one of those camping toilets, or you know what I'm talking about.
Porta potty.
Yeah, like a porta potty in there. Yes. And I discovered real quick after I bought that boat that there was no way and that was before. I have had that boat for years. I've had that boat for 15 more years. that was back when I didn't weigh as much as I do now. I was a fairly slim young man, and I just out of curiosity one day before I ever took we'd taken the boat out a few times, but my wife wanted to go with us, and just out of curiosity, I wanted to see if you could go in that bathroom and use it.
Nope.
Yeah, if you're a 10-year-old, yeah, I got my butt in there, but that was it. There was no, I'm not trying to be crude or whatever. There was no men standing to relieve himself. You couldn't stand up. You were like hunched over. So it was nothing but sit down. And I got news for you. It wasn't comfortable. So I got out and I told my wife before we left, I said, and my wife is pretty petite, she's like, I'm 5'11", she's only like 5'4" or 5 something like that, really small. And I even told her, I said, just out of curiosity, before I take everything out of here, try it. And she told me, she goes, no way. I said, well, if we'll go to the shore if you have to go to the bathroom, because I try not to get too far away. Now, me, when I'm out fishing and my boys and we're all out fishing, we just do what men do. I'll leave it that way.
Yep. Friends of ours had an old Novi lobster boat. You see it on TV, the open deck plan. Well, they turned it into a party barge, but the head was down under the forward deck, literally right beside the motor. So if you leaned over sideways, you're going to burn yourself on that motor.
Well, anyway, so I realized real quick that it wasn't going to work. So I stripped that out and used it for storage, and it's nice. I put some shelves in there, and we use it for storage. It's in the center of the boat, so it helps balance out the boat. And the porta potty that was in there, I have another one also. I can look up and I can see it just right up there in the loft. It's been sitting there for 15 years or so, but it's still up there in the loft.
Well, see, when you sell the boat, you can put it back in, and it's never been used.
Yeah, that's true. It hadn't been used.
So I know if you can see this, because I know I don't have it on my computer here. That's the mailbox I made.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Now, does that sit on a post?
What's that?
Does that sit on a post?
There's a telephone pole right in the front corner of my property on the street. So I just screw it to that.
Screw it into that.
Yeah. And the kids are welcome to put their letters to Santa in it.
Okay, we have Leonard Davis has joined us. Chris Cherry. Hello, Chris, over there on YouTube. I appreciate y'all being here. Russ Meadows is out there in the chat. He said, morning, Leonard. Leonard says, the parts on my grill just showed up. He's having burgers tonight. Hey, are we invited? We want to know if we're invited.
Yeah, where are you at, Leonard?
Yeah, where are you at?
Yeah, right.
So if you're anywhere close, I'll go. This hat's a little too... I have a hat like this, but I couldn't find it because I have so many boxes full of hats. So I hope my son's not listening. I went into his room and stole this hat. And my son's got a big head. It's like, this thing is like, holy crap, I didn't realize he had such a big head.
And you got extra hair.
Yeah. And it's still loose on me. I have to keep adjusting it. So,
Chrissy says
right.
You're close. He says you're close to his house.
Okay. So I got some stuff for the news. It's 9:30. I wasn't planning on being here a whole hour, but you know how that goes. We're going to end up we got to run in our gator, and here we go. All right, so I'm going to share, and we got some stuff in the news that I thought was pretty cool. In the news, yes. So, in 2013, a huge brush fire in Tasmania meant that the fences around Alice Gray's farm were burned down. This caused a lot of chaos, and sheep escaped. Over time, they wandered away and just, everybody forgot about them. But 7 years later, Pickles shows up, okay? And Pickles has been eating a whole heck of a lot.
I would say so.
Actually, this is not It's not that she's fat, is because for 7 years she hasn't been her wool hasn't been cut off, and so
Right.
that's her before shaving.
That's a lot of wool.
Yes, it is.
There's a
It
couple
says
sweaters in there.
Pickles is sporting a gigantic woolly coat, which is set to be shorn off for charity. Her owners organized a guess weight of her fleece competition to raise funds, and the proceeds are going to help refugees suffering amid the coronavirus. But yeah, Pickles showed back up, and she is huge.
Can you imagine if that sheep was out in a rainstorm?
Oh man, yeah. I would imagine her legs would buckle, and she'd have to lay there until she dried out.
That's hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I would imagine she did get wet a couple times, being gone that long.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that she got wet. Leo Steger just joined us over in that other picture that flashed up there. That's the next one of the stories. It's actually a video I want to show. Okay. I don't mind tattoos. I don't have one personally. My sons seem to enjoy tattoos. My wife doesn't have a tattoo. And like I said, I don't care for them, but I don't care if a person has a tattoo or two, but this is just ridiculous. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. Some people dig it and love it. And obviously she did. She's an Australian model, and she spent over 20,000, I believe that's euro, on over 100 tattoos and piercing. And this is what she looked like on the bottom before, and this is what she looks like now. Why in the hell would somebody, I just don't understand it. She's beautiful. So,
people do that, and then they got those ones that get the horns, and get their tongue split. And
yep.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, and they get all those
the piercings
through the stuff through the top of their nose, this ball, and then they got that hook in their nose like a damn hog. You know why they put the hook in a hog's nose? Because the hogs are like ornery, and they get a hold of that hook and they can take him anywhere they wanted. That's what that reminds me of.
That's called unemployable.
Yeah. I mean, it's sad because she was actually very, very pretty. I showed it to my wife this morning. And when I was looking for the new stuff, I said, look at this. And she was like, wow. She goes, why? And she said the same thing. I mean, and some people like that, and some people are turned on by that. I'm sorry, I'm not. It's just terrible.
It's a fad. It'll die out.
Yeah. Leo Steger says, good morning from Central Ohio. I said hello. I might not have said hello to Leo, but hello. And from Mulberry, Florida. That's where I'm at.
There you go.
Yeah, James, I don't know if you remember or not, but you told us this the other day that your daughter and son-in-law are truckers, and you have 5 cases of bacon and 13 cases of smoked sausage. And I told you I was coming to Ocala and steal some. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go back, and here, let me set up the next one. It's hard for me to remember which way to roll my mouse to go to the next picture, and I don't want to try to ruin anything, my surprises, so to speak. Now, this I thought was pretty doggone, and we as woodworkers and makers, most of us that are on the panel here today, and also most of y'all who are out there, this I thought was pretty cool. Yeah. A man transforms a staircase into an epic wine cellar that can hold over 150 bottles.
Now that's cool. That is really neat.
Yep. It's Murray Burrell Constructions. And so, oops, I don't want to do it that way. Yeah.
That's really something.
Yeah,
I've seen that done for storage on the stairs like that, but not for wine.
Yeah, I've seen it for storage, but he actually made it for wine. Yes. Pretty doggone.
I thought about doing it on a couple of steps on our main staircase, and when I got underneath, there's just too much structure under there to bother. I just rebuild the whole staircase.
Holy crap, I finally figured out how I can move that thing. because I've been wanting to do this for a while. I tried once before and it wouldn't do it, but yeah, so I could zoom in.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that cool? You can see right here, you can see the drawers. At first, the picture was so small, you really can't see them, and then they all pull out. And they're double. When I first saw the first picture, I didn't realize there was a second set, but they're double. That's a lot of wine, 150 bucks.
That's a lot of weight added to that staircase.
I'm sure he reinforced it. Yeah, I'm sure he reinforced it. So, all right.
By the looks of the way he did it, he's probably got a center stringer going down those.
Be my guess, yeah.
Okay, I couldn't find the video for this, but it's like man leaves friends petrified after investigating footsteps coming from the attic. Supposedly this guy had a party at his home, and I think this is pre-COVID. I'm not sure, might not be. But he had a party at home, and he said that he had been hearing footsteps in the attic and everything. And then like during the party, he's like, man, y'all can't hear that. I can hear that. So everybody's like, well, let's go investigate. So he grabs his camera and everything. I'm paraphrasing because I read the story. He grabs his camera and everything, and he pushes the lid of the attic open. Oh, that's way too. He pushes the attic open and he looks up in there. And while everybody was standing there, this pops out. Yeah, this pops out. He pretends he's scared, and it scares the bejesus out of everybody else. And it says the footage shows I couldn't find the video for this. I looked for it. A creepy old attic, like something from a horror film, as the cam slowly dims. He slowly pans around. A bloody child gives a skilling scream and reacts to the camera. The friends also scream in horror, watching on. And Rob and the camera appeared to drop to the floor as the friends were shocked into silence. And one asked, is Rob moving? And then they said, make a long story short, he directs films. So this was all a setup for that party. And this was the kid was all made up and everything just to scare the bejesus out of his friends. He's a filmmaker. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. That's something like I would do. That's something like I would do. I remember I used to dress up when I was younger, dress up as Jason. And let's stop sharing this for a second. I used to dress up as Jason, and I had a one piece or a jumpsuit that was like a dark charcoal gray. And we put nasty stuff all over it and everything to make it look really cool. I had the hockey mask. We got one of those bald head things so you couldn't see any of my hair, and we decorated it up. We actually, you know how you get the fishing worms, the plastic fishing worms. We actually glued them to the bald head so it looked like, yeah, it was good. And then I made a wooden machete. Okay, a nice, good size wooden machete. I made it out of cedar. It took me a while to do it. And I also made it like a meat cleaver out of cedar. Lightweight. They were blunt, so I couldn't hurt anybody with it. And it was just great. So one Halloween, we had a bunch of decorations in the front yard. And so I dressed up as Jason and stood out there with the decorations. And since the mask was on, you couldn't see my face. So therefore, I stood real still and didn't move. So these people would come up to the front door to get candy and everything. And the next thing you know, Jason would come alive. And it would scare the bejesus. They would run out of the front yard with me chasing them. Had a great time, had a blast. It was, James says, sorry. There's no problem, James. He said, sorry, because I mentioned that he'd told us that before, but that's okay. I do the same thing. I'm bad about repeating myself. James says he's got some old timers, and another few. Yeah, I get old timers all the time. So I just thought that was pretty funny that he went through all that to scare the bejesus out of his friends. Okay, come on. I'm trying to change this thing. It'd be nice if I think this is the last one too. It'd be nice if I clicked on the right icon. That's the reason it wouldn't change for me. Okay. So this one's pretty funny. During the coronavirus lockdown, many of us are entertaining ourselves with social media, including 28-year-old Nicole Parker. She's experimenting with some Instagram filters, and she was enjoying a glass of wine, but things didn't go as quite so planned for her. She ended up dumping the glass of wine on herself while she was like live on Instagram. And that's a picture of her before. I need to stop sharing for a few seconds so I can set this up, because this is really pretty doggone funny. It made me laugh, trust me. Give me a second. I'm trying to get it set up here. I didn't realize this video player was going to be so dadburn pain in the butt. Let me close these pictures out so I don't click on the wrong icon. Yeah, see, I talk to myself. I do this all the time. All right, here we go. Okay, so you saw the picture. This is her sitting there all kicked back and relaxed, and she's using one of those Instagram filters, and watch what happens. Let's see that one more time. I can watch this thing 100 times. You can tell it's not fake because look at the expression on her face. Yeah. Needless to say, that has got just like thousands of views. It's like she's become a hit with that.
What a waste of good wine.
Yes. What a waste of good wine. Let me, I need to check. I think that was all. Yes. That was all I had. That was all that I had in the news today. But yes, that was just, James says, have a good day. Stay safe. I'll be here tomorrow. Got to see doctor at 9 in the morning. It's just a checkup. Okay. Hope everything's good. And have a wonderful day. Yeah, I've got some stuff I need to do. One of the things that we're working on around here, which I'll share some pictures on it later, is anyway, yesterday I spent the day replacing all those lights and doing some other stuff too. But one of the things we're working on is my boat. I have a 22-foot center console, which I was talking to you about, and we want to go fishing, so we're working on it. It needs new batteries. I got to put new batteries. We're going to make sure the motor, fire off the motor and everything, and so the boys came over this weekend, and we set up the. I bought a like a portable carport. It's the only way I can explain it, to put over it to help protect it. And so I bought that. We set that up this weekend and started cleaning it out and doing some stuff to it. So I'll be posting some pictures, and we're trying to get ready to go fishing. So we expect this coronavirus, which they're starting to lift some of the regulations and stuff here in Florida, and they should be opening up the boat ramps. I have several friends of mine, which are guides, captains, and they are out of business. They couldn't take anybody on their boats. Hopefully they'll be able to get back into business. And
you can always invite one to go with you as a friend.
Yes. I've got a couple of those that might just do that I know. One of them I did, he invited me when he was doing his TV show to be in a couple of his series that he had going at one time, and I was in it. I'll have to play those videos back for you sometime. It was on TV, and I'm trying to think of his name. His name's Glenn Plaw, but it was the Average Angler Adventures, and he did a lot of stuff on it. And Glenn has, at the time, when he was doing all that stuff for channel Bay News 9, he was not a captain. I think he has since become a captain, so he's doing guides and stuff now too. And he's on Facebook, and we've kind of stayed in touch somewhat. And I've often wanted to ask him about, and I know for a fact, but he charges. He will go out in with you in your boat and as a guide, but he charges. I'm hoping I can talk him into doing it for free.
So he's got a Coast Guard license, right?
Yes.
That's what I do.
Yep. He's got a Coast Guard license. Yes. But he knows the fishing spots down here, Chris. You don't.
I know the fishing spots, supermarkets.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's fish in the supermarket. It always will be fish in
And
the
they're
supermarket.
they're clean.
Yeah.
And they're clean and ready to go in the frying pan.
That's right.
Oh, I'm not trying to put a scare or anything on anybody, but you saying that made me think of something I watched on the news this morning. Tyson Foods is having to close down some of their big plants.
Yes, they are.
There might be a meat shortage around here, boys. They
Become a
have an outbreak
vegetarian.
they have an outbreak of COVID in one of their plants or some of their plants. I didn't catch exactly the details, but to the point that they're having to shut one or more plants down, and they're going to have to revamp and figure out how they can work and do the social distancing thing, because if you look at some of their plants, they're bunched up together.
See,
We're on the downside of this. It's kind of late to be thinking about that now.
Well,
Other than hot dogs, I couldn't care less.
Yeah, really. I don't eat Tyson chicken.
Yeah. But yeah, and so I do. Tyson's. I actually, they have some real good products. We get their Tyson frozen chicken breast, and those things are huge. They're so big, in fact, that I cut them in half and grill them because they're still, even cutting them in half, they're half to 3/4 inch thick, the two pieces. So
probably if you go to Costco or Sam's or Kroger or Publix, chances are that food comes from Tyson.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of products that some of these supermarkets, and I know for a fact Publix, the chain here, they hire these companies like Tyson. We have Marita Bread, a bakery here in not probably 30 minutes from my house, and they make the Publix bread and just put the wrapper on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they do. Now it's a little bit different formula from what they make, but they make the bread for Publix, and I think since then Publix has gotten so big they might have their own bakery. But the point is you're right, Paul. A lot of products are made for these name stores like Costco, Target, another one, and they make the same stuff and just put their labels on it.
Yep.
I just see the government cans of peanut butter, the number 10 cans.
Yeah.
That the government, that's put together by Skippy.
Yeah.
When he worked for the summer camp, we used to get those number 10 cans delivered once a week to the island, and we opened up a crate once, and they were all Skippy jars. Yeah. And we backtracked it, and they came from the exact same plant. So
if you like peanuts, you'll love Skippy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Do you remember that
I
commercial?
remember that.
Yes.
Yep. See, I'm brand loyal. Skippy peanut butter or not. I don't like the other peanut butters.
I'm quite brand loyal also.
Yeah.
We are Norm Nichols, Deanna Limlin, Roger Beavers, Chris Riley, Barbara Hostetler, Tony Trebbiano. We're all over there along with the others. So we have a pretty good audience this morning over on Facebook.
Cool.
None of those people.
I brought them with me, Russ.
You did? Yeah, good.
Yep.
None of those people joined the chat. I'm kind of brand loyal on certain things. Yes, I agree with you. But there's other things that I've tried, and you can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
Publix is really good about their canned vegetables are actually produced, or they used to be. I had a friend of mine that was like in really upper management with Publix, and he was telling me that a lot of their canned vegetables were made by Green Giant. They just put their labels on them.
Publix is an excellent grocery store chain. I mean, they're just amazing.
Yep, they're private still privately owned, and their stocks are private to the point that you can only buy public stock. They're like owned by their employees or stuff, however you want to say it, because you can only buy their stock if you work for them. It's the only way you can get it.
We got a brewery up here, Harpoon Brewery, that's owned by the employees, and it didn't start that way. Yeah, matter of fact, the owners are still involved, the original owners, but about 5 or 6 years ago, they turned it over to the employees. So everybody who works there is an owner.
Wow.
And you definitely see the difference in the quality of the product, the quality of the events, because they all know this is my name being thrown out here. And the best thing, they do this fundraising road race and music festival. While it was supposed to be in May, thought we're having it this year. All the employees work for 4 days for free.
Wow.
Putting this event together. And it's all done for ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. But the employee-owned businesses, I find, are the best. So
yeah,
I know Publix has rated the #1 for years, the #1 business in Florida,
wow.
and they have got the highest rating from their employees as being one of the best places in the world to work. All their employees.
They're one of the top-rated grocery stores in the country.
Yes.
What's the one that's in the east? Wegmans. Yeah, they're like #1, and I think Publix is #2.
Yeah, Kroger is the biggest competition for Publix, though. Kroger, they're in the south.
Kroger has improved a lot.
Yeah,
in the last 5 to 10 years, they've really improved.
Their stuff. We have a Publix, and I go to Publix all the time. Their stuff is a little bit more. Their products are a little bit more expensive. For instance, you could probably get it at Winn-Dixie or Walmart a little cheaper, but #1, the stores are impeccably clean.
Yes, they are.
You ever walked into a Winn-Dixie and you can smell the meat from the meat you know what I'm saying, in the store? You go like, ooh, that don't smell good. I walked in Winn-Dixie's and smelled that before. I haven't smelled it ever in a Walmart, but Walmarts aren't the cleanest place in the world. Trust me, I've been in them, but they're impeccably clean. Their employees are just fantastic. As far if you go up there, if there's a guy standing in the aisle, you see an employee and you say, I can't find your Skippy peanut butter. Okay. He will say, that's on aisle 7, and he will take you
there. Yeah.
Yeah. He don't just tell you it's on aisle 7, halfway down on the left-hand side. He will take you to it.
Another thing that's interesting that I judge a lot of stores by their fruit and vegetable, fresh fruit and vegetable area. And Publix is one of the chains that waxes their fruit.
Yes.
They polish all their fruit that is out on display. And that's an expensive thing to do, but they draws you to it.
And you can't compare their produce to Winn-Dixie or Walmart. No. Their produce is the best, and they will only put the best out there.
Yep.
I'll tell you a story. I know somebody used to work for Winn-Dixie that was a manager, and they would take, like, let's say they would have a box of tomatoes and some on the bottom would go bad. They would separate the boxes and take all the good ones and rebox them and throw the all bad ones away. I mean, rather than just throwing the whole thing away, because once you have bad ones in a situation like that go bad, they contaminate the others, and it won't be long for they'll go bad. So I actually have bought. There's a few times that when Dixie used to be on the way home to and from when I worked for the fire department, I've stopped in there and I didn't pay attention one day and bought a gallon of milk, took it home, we drank out of it, and like the next day I went to drink out of it and finally looked, it expired that day I bought it, and I didn't pay attention to the date. Yeah,
that's gross.
Yeah, so I'm like, and Publix, I can tell you, they have people that go through, because I've seen them do this. You'll see somebody pull up with a buggy in front of, like, let's say Skippy peanut butter, and they will start pulling every can of peanut butter off. They'll have 2 buggies, and every can of peanut butter, the good ones with the good dates will go here, and they'll check the dates just to make sure all of them. And if they're within 2 or 3 days of expiring, they'll go ahead and pull them.
Right.
So
My kid brother used to work for a fruit and vegetable stand, big, well-known in the Boston area. And this is back when we were both kids. And I worked at a summer day camp, but once a week they had to go through all the vegetables and rotate out the old stuff and bring in new stock. And they did it at night. While the food is still good, the fruits and veggies were still edible. But instead of throwing them away, I would back the summer camp van in and he'd just load all these crates of fruits and veggies into our camp van, and I'd take them up to the camp in the morning. So
oh yeah,
it was great.
Yeah,
They were supposed to throw them away, but they were still edible.
Yeah,
So
think
why
of
throw
all
them
the
away?
people you could feed
Yeah.
with the food that gets thrown out.
Oh my
It's
God,
still good food.
I see so much food waste in this country. It drives me crazy.
Yep.
yeah. They'll do little things like over the period of time that I've bought some stuff, and the lady will be checking it out, and I would have not have noticed, but she'll notice in some way, shape, or form the package will be damaged or something.
Yeah.
And she'll pull it right there, and she will tell the bag boy, take this and go get another one, or go get another one of these, and she'll put it underneath the counter she won't let you buy it. So
that's good.
yep, they're good.
Practice.
And you don't mind paying the extra little bit of money for that because you know it's clean, you know they're courteous, you know everything, you know, they're a great place, and everybody thinks they're like I said, I had a friend of mine, he passed away here about 5 or 6 years ago, that he was in the upper management. He told me that they're wonderful to work for, that they, you know, and they take care of their employees, and they want their stores to be the best. Yeah, it's kind of a strange thing. He was in the upper management, and he also had been adopted. So he went every year to the place that he was adopted from, and helped them throw their Christmas party, and bought toys. He spent a lot of money on their Christmas party for the adoption agency where he came from. And it was Christmas time, and after he left the Christmas party, he told them he wasn't feeling good. Well, he pulled into a Publix parking lot and went inside to get some Tylenol or some kind of medicine. I don't remember exactly what it was. I think it was Tylenol. He bought the Tylenol and a drink and went back out to his car to take the Tylenol, and apparently had a massive heart attack. And they didn't notice it until later on that day. When the vehicle didn't move or whatever, somebody saw him and they went and checked on him. He was gone. So just like that. Boom. Yeah. A good guy. Actually, how we came to know him, I'll tell you this little story real quick. I think we got a few minutes. It's pretty cool. My brother met him in high school, and they became very good friends. And he practiced where he lived with his adopted. He was actually in foster care for a while. And where he lived with his foster care people, he used to come to our house all the time, and he practically lived at our house. I mean, when you woke up, Freddie was there, and when you went to bed, Freddie was leaving. Pretty much, we loved him. The whole family loved him. He was like, a matter of fact, I think my parents looked into adopting him at one point. So, but yeah, Freddie Lane was his name, and we just loved him. The kid never really had shoes in his life, and I mean, when he got to foster care, naturally he had shoes or whatever, but he always went barefoot. Always went barefoot. His feet were tough as steel. It could be frost on the ground, 30 degrees in Florida, which is cold as hell in Florida, and he'd be walking around barefoot. I mean, just incredible guy. Really, really, and he ended up starting out as a bag boy for Publix over on Wabash. I know right where the store is at, over on Wabash Avenue in Lakeland, and ended up being one of the big wig supervisors. I mean, he was in charge of like the Southwest District. He was in charge of like Bradenton, Sarasota, the major warehouse. He was in charge of like the Southwest District it'd be the Southwest District of Florida. So he was big guy, making big bucks from a bag boy. So Porter Woodwork says good morning to Paul. He didn't say good morning to any of us. And he said, "Good morning, Jim, David.
Yeah, this is.
You do realize that I am here and can read this. And you're not saying anything to
Well,
me?"
I said good morning to them.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't typically.
Okay, now I back up and I can see that. Well, good morning, David. How are you? We're going to get off of here. I should have already gotten off of here. I got things I need to do today. And
I got a
I ended up-
whirly gig to start.
oh, I forgot to tell you. I thought this morning I was going to have to cancel the show because my wife had we got a grocery pickup order, and I thought it was this morning. So that was the reason I posted in the private message was sorry, but we'll have to cancel the show. My wife informed me I got to pick up groceries, and she swears to God she told me
I
yesterday.
hope Sam knows because
Don't buy it. But anyway, yeah, it ended up not being until I think they changed it, and we can't get it until 1 o'clock.
As we move forward.
So we're here. Anyway, we're going to get out
yes,
of
we
here.
are.
You know, I appreciate you being on here, Paul. Thanks for coming this morning.
I had
Wine coffee.
He's
And
up
thank
early
you.
to build a whirly gig.
that's
Yep,
right.
thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. Listen, we're going to get out of here. 2 things, or 3 things, or 4 things. Actually, don't forget. Yeah, I'll remember them all. Don't forget, keep your head down, keep your mask on, wash your nasty hands. And as Brenda would say, we miss you, Brenda. Take your vitamin C. We'll see y'all later. We'll not promising, good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. We'll be here tomorrow. See y'all later.
See you, gang. Have a good day. Stay safe. Stay home.